But listen to me, if you're serious about your dream, your goals, your future, you can't stay where you are. You can't stay comfortable. You have to push your limits every single day. You will never discover how strong you are if you never step into discomfort. Growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. It happens when you do something you thought you couldn't do. When you run that extra mile, when you study one more hour, when you wake up earlier than you ever thought possible. You want success? Then push yourself past tired. Push yourself past fear. Push yourself past failure. Greatness is on the other side of your limits. Some of you right now are standing on the edge. You're scared, you're doubting, but I came to tell you, leap. Push yourself off the ledge of fear and land into your destiny. You were built for this. You were designed to break barriers, not to live behind them. Don't just chase your dream, catch it, and then go past it. Push your limits, and I promise you will find a version of you that you've never seen before. A stronger, wiser, unstoppable you. The question is, how bad do you want it? Growth is something that everyone wants, but few are willing to truly work for. In life, it's easy to get caught up comparing yourself to everyone around you. You scroll through social media and see people traveling the world, buying new cars, starting businesses, winning awards, and you start to feel like you're falling behind. But the truth is, the only person you should ever be competing with is the person you were yesterday. Your real competition is not the person across the street, not your coworker, not your classmate, not the person with 1 million followers. Your real competition is you, your doubts, your habits, your fears, your old self. Until you understand that, you'll never reach your full potential. When you wake up in the morning, you need to ask yourself one simple question. How can I be better than I was yesterday? That's it. That's the real battle. It's not about proving anything to anybody else. It's not about living up to someone else's expectations or seeking approval from the outside world. It's about building a version of yourself that is stronger, smarter, and more capable today than you were yesterday. Every single day is a new opportunity to outwork, outgrow, and outshine the person you used to be. The problem is most people waste too much time looking sideways. They spend their energy worrying about what everyone else is doing instead of focusing on their own growth. They let jealousy, comparison, and insecurity consume them, and in doing so, they lose sight of their own race. But when you focus on yourself, when you block out the noise and set your eyes on your own journey, you become unstoppable. You stop measuring your success by someone else's standards and start creating your own definition of success. You have to realize that everyone's journey is different. Everyone is running a different race on a different track at a different pace. Comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20 will only leave you frustrated and discouraged. Instead of worrying about how fast someone else is moving, focus on taking your next step. Instead of worrying about how successful someone else appears, focus on building your own success one day at a time. Your journey is unique. Your path is yours alone. And when you understand that, you free yourself from the burden of comparison. It's important to recognize that growth is personal. What's a big step for you might seem small to someone else, but that doesn't matter. It's your journey, not theirs. If yesterday you struggled to get out of bed and today you woke up early and went for a run, that's progress. If yesterday you were afraid to speak up and today you voice your opinion, that's growth. If yesterday you doubted yourself and today you took a step towards your dream, even if it was a small one, that's winning. The only thing that matters is that you are moving forward, even if it's just 1 inch at a time. You also need to understand that improvement doesn't always come in big, flashy moments. Sometimes it's in the tiny choices you make every single day. It's in choosing to read a book instead of scrolling endlessly through your phone. It's in choosing to practice a skill instead of procrastinating. It's in choosing to eat healthy, work out, study harder, stay disciplined, even when you don't feel like it. Even these small decisions add up over time. Every positive choice you make is a brick laid down in the foundation of the better you. And another thing you need to remember is that growth isn't always a straight line. There will be setbacks. There will be days when you feel like you're not making any progress, when you feel stuck or even like you're moving backward. That's normal. That's part of the process. What matters is that you don't give up. What matters is that you get up every time you fall and keep pushing. The only way you lose is if you quit. As long as you're trying, As long as you're striving to be better than you were before, you are winning. You also need to celebrate your progress. Too often, we focus only on how far we still have to go, and we forget to acknowledge how far we've already come. Take time to recognize your achievements, no matter how small they may seem. Every victory, every improvement, every step forward deserves to be celebrated. These moments of recognition fuel your motivation and remind you that you are capable of growth. They remind you that you are not the same person you were yesterday. And that is something to be proud of. You are your only real competition because you are the only person you can truly control. You can't control how talented someone else is. You can't control how fast someone else climbs the ladder. You can't control their opportunities, their resources, or their circumstances, but you can control you. You can control your attitude, your effort, your discipline, your mindset. You can control how hard you work, how much you learn, how willing you are to grow. And that's powerful because it means your destiny is in your hands every day. You have two choices: stay the same or get better. Stay stuck or level up. Stay in the past or build a better future. When you choose to compete with yourself, you become better without even realizing it. You start to notice the small improvements. You start to take pride in your journey. You start to enjoy the process, not just the outcome. And before you know it, you'll look back and realize just how far you've come. Not because you tried to beat someone else, but because you committed to beating the old you. So stop worrying about the competition. Stop letting comparison steal your joy. Stop measuring your worth by someone else's success. Focus on you. Focus on your growth, your improvement, your journey. Wake up every day determined to be better than you were yesterday. Outwork your old habits. Outgrow your old fears. Outsmart your old doubts. Outlast your old limits. Because at the end of the day, your only real competition is you, and you have everything you need to win. It's easy to say you want to grow. You want to achieve greatness. But growth doesn't just come from wishing or dreaming. It comes from discomfort. And it's one of the most important lessons you can learn. Comfort is the enemy of progress. When you're comfortable, you're not pushing yourself to go any further. You're not challenging yourself. You're not reaching for that next level. The minute you settle into your comfort zone, you start to limit your potential. The hardest part is recognizing that, and even harder, choosing to step outside of it. Too many people settle. They get comfortable in their job, their relationships, or their routine, and they start to believe that where they are is all they'll ever need. They get into a rhythm, and while it might feel secure, it also starts to feel stagnant. The danger here is that comfort doesn't force you to evolve. It doesn't force you to grow, improve, or face your fears. It keeps you stuck in a cycle where you're not necessarily moving forward, you're just existing. When you're in this space, you're not living up to your full potential. You're not testing your limits. Think about an athlete who wants to perform at their highest level. If they never challenge themselves to go harder, push longer, or train beyond their usual limits, they'll never improve. Every professional athlete understands this concept because they know that only by pushing through the discomfort will they break their own records. They know that comfort doesn't create champions. It's the early mornings, the late nights, the sweat and sacrifice, and the pushing beyond exhaustion that create greatness. It's the moments when they feel like quitting but decide to keep going that make them better. Now, think about your own life. What is it that you're holding back from because it feels too uncomfortable? Is there a dream you're not pursuing because you're afraid it's going to be too hard? Is there a goal that seems too far out of reach, so you've settled for something less? What you need to understand is that the moment you decide to stay comfortable is the moment you decide to stop growing. Growth doesn't happen on the couch. It doesn't happen while you're sitting back, avoiding challenge. It happens when you step out and push through your fears, your doubts, your limitations. This is a truth that successful people understand. Successful people are not those who live easy lives, who avoid discomfort, or who take the path of least resistance. No, successful people are those who consistently step into discomfort, who push through obstacles, and who don't settle for mediocrity. They keep striving for something more, and they embrace the challenge. They don't run from the discomfort, they run toward it, because they know that's where the real change happens. And yes, it's hard, it's exhausting. There are times when you feel like you're on the edge, ready to break down. But that's exactly where growth happens, at the point of breaking, at the point of exhaustion, at the point where you can barely go on, but you do anyway. That's where greatness is born. Think about the most successful people you admire. Chances are they didn't get there by sitting back and waiting for things to come to them. They pushed through their comfort zone over and over again. They faced rejection, failure, and setbacks, but they didn't let those things stop them. They understood that discomfort was part of the process. They embraced it. They used it to fuel their progress. And you can do the same. You might be thinking, I don't know if I can push that hard. I don't know if I'm strong enough. Well, here's the reality. You don't know your strength until you push beyond what you think you can handle. The minute you step into discomfort, you realize that you have more strength inside of you than you ever thought possible. You realized that what you thought was your limit was just the beginning. When you push past your comfort zone, you start to see what you're truly capable of. I'm going to unlock hidden talents, new skills, and resilience you never knew existed. The truth is you can achieve far more than you think you can. Your limits are often self-imposed. You decide where your boundaries lie. And if you don't challenge those boundaries, they will remain where they are. You will stay in the same place, doing the same things, getting the same result. But if you're willing to push beyond them, if you're willing to test what you think you can do, you'll find that the boundaries you set for yourself are much farther out than you ever imagined. Growth comes from pushing past these self-imposed limits and continually testing your own abilities. It's not always going to be easy, and there will be days when you feel like giving up. But those are the days that matter most. Those are the days that will define you. So the next time you're faced with an opportunity to step outside your comfort zone, don't hesitate. Don't back down. Embrace it. Lean into the discomfort, because that's where the magic happens. That's where the growth is. You can either stay where you are in the comfort zone and wonder why you're not progressing, or you can choose to push your limits, take risks, and move forward. The choice is yours. But remember, comfort will always be the enemy of your growth. So don't be afraid to step into discomfort. It's the only way you'll ever grow. Pushing through discomfort is where true growth lives. Most people stop when things get uncomfortable. They hit their first wall, that moment when it hurts, when it's tiring, when it's confusing, and they back off. They slow down. They tell themselves it's too much, it's too hard, it's not meant to be. But if you want to be great, if you want to achieve things you've never had before, you have to be willing to step into that discomfort and live there. Growth doesn't happen in the safe zones. Growth happens when you stretch yourself beyond what feels easy and familiar. Every time you push through discomfort, you expand what's possible for you. Think about it. When you lift weights, your muscles only grow because you push them beyond their normal limits. You tear them down a little, you challenge them, and they rebuild stronger. The same principle applies to your mind, your spirit, your skills. If you stay comfortable, you stay the same. If you challenge yourself, you evolve. Discomfort is not your enemy. It's your training ground. It's the gym where your dreams are built. Most people misunderstand discomfort. They think it's a sign that they're doing something wrong. They think it's a reason to quit. But discomfort is actually a sign that you're on the edge of your current limits. It's the feeling you get when you are about to level up. When you embrace it instead of running from it, you unlock a whole new version of yourself. You start realizing that the things that used to scare you, the things that used to seem impossible, aren't as big as you thought once you face them head on. The problem is society teaches us to avoid discomfort. We live in a world built for convenience. Everything fast, easy, and painless. But the easy route rarely leads to greatness. The easy road leads to mediocrity. If you want to be someone who does more, achieves more, becomes more, you have to be someone who willingly walks into the fire when everyone else is running away. You have to condition yourself to see discomfort, not as a stop sign, but as a green light, not as a wall, but as a doorway. There will be days when you don't feel like showing up, days when your body is tired, your mind is worn out, your emotions are heavy. Those are the days that matter most. Anyone can push when they feel good. Champions push when they feel terrible. Legends are made on the days they didn't feel like it but showed up anyway. If you only work when it's easy, you'll only get average results. But if you work when it's hard, when it's inconvenient, when it's painful, that's where the magic happens. You have to train yourself to lean into discomfort. When you feel fear, lean in. When you feel tired, lean in. When you feel doubt, lean in. That's your signal that you're getting stronger. That's your signal that you're building resilience, mental toughness, grit, all the ingredients you need to succeed at the highest level. Most people avoid discomfort, and that's why most people never realize their full potential. You have to be different. You have to want it bad enough to be uncomfortable for it. Understand that discomfort is impermanent. It feels overwhelming in a moment, but it passes. And when it passes, you come out better on the other side. You come out wiser, tougher, more capable. Every hardship you survive becomes another weapon in your arsenal. Every struggle you endure becomes another story of strength you carry with you. The more you expose yourself to discomfort, the less power it has over you. The more you train yourself to push through, the more natural it becomes. What once felt impossible becomes routine. You have to develop a mindset where you crave challenges, where you look for opportunities to be uncomfortable because you know that's where the growth lives. When you see a difficult task, don't shy away from it, run toward it. When you feel fear, don't avoid it, face it. When you feel exhausted, don't quit, dig deeper. Every time you do this, you reinforce a powerful belief that you are stronger than you thought, that you are capable of more than you imagine, that no obstacle can stop you as long as you keep moving forward. It's easy to talk about chasing dreams when everything is going your way. It's easy to be motivated when you're winning. But the real test of your character is what you do when the world hits back. Will you stand your ground when life gets heavy? Will you keep climbing when the hill gets steeper? Will you stay hungry, stay focused, stay disciplined, even when everything inside you is screaming to quit? That's the kind of toughness that separates the average from the elite. That's the kind of spirit that pushes limits and breaks barriers. Pushing through discomfort is a habit. It's a skill. And like any skill, it gets better with practice. Start small if you have to. Push yourself to do one more rep at the gym. Push yourself to study for one more hour. Push yourself to wake up a little earlier. Push yourself to step outside your comfort zone in conversations, in projects, in opportunities. So over time, these small pushes add up. They built a foundation of mental strength that will support you when the bigger challenges come. And remember, every time you push through, you are setting a new standard for yourself. You are raising the bar. You are telling yourself, this is who I am now. This is what I'm capable of. And once you set that new standard, you don't go back. You don't shrink to fit your old limits. You keep expanding, you keep growing, you keep evolving into the person you were meant to be. The journey to greatness is uncomfortable, it's messy, it's hard, but it's also beautiful. It's rewarding, it's life-changing. The discomfort you feel today is the strength you'll rely on tomorrow. So don't run from it. Don't fear it. Embrace it, chase it, live in it. Because discomfort is not the enemy. Discomfort is the key to your next level. It's the fire that forges champions. It's the forge where your dreams are built. And if you have the courage to stay in that fire long enough, there's no limit to how high you can rise.